Thanks for watching. Thanks for your support, your likes, your follows, your shares. I'm Sam the Miracle Man, and we're just going to dive in here to the show. This is my first episode trying this new format. I think it's going to do really well because I'm going to do what I do best, and that's really connecting to people, connecting on a very deep level. You can say the spirit, the soul, the stream of consciousness that I really want to dive in and see what's going on with you. So it's gonna be sort of like a variety show in a way. I'll be doing some talking, some reading, and weaving the two in between of what comes up and what comes up, and you'll see when I tune into people, I really just close my eyes and I just go someplace and just connect in because I'm finding, if my eyes are open, I'm looking, I'm getting distraction because I'm trying to deal in the absolute and my eyes are dealing in the relative, and I haven't figured out how to work that balance. So what's coming to me to start off with today is, I'm on TikTok as well as Sam the Miracle Man. And somebody posted recently that they needed a miracle because they were homeless. So I just tuned in and I just saw that her great grandfather, I think, was with her, trying to give her some advice. But this is what I'm seeing with all our darkness. You can say our darkness. That could be homeless, financial issues, relationship issues, health issues, depression, anxiety, all this stuff. And it can make you feel very isolated, very alone. I knew that from my own personal experience of being suicidal, dealing with multiple sclerosis. All this stuff is very isolating. We have to realize that we're never alone. That when we feel that we're alone, we're not alone. There's always a team around us. So we're never quite alone. So see Dowie here watching, and so I'm going to be tuning into people here a little bit later. But what is coming to with this darkness that we're facing? We basically have two doors that we're facing in each situation. On one door, it's bright, shiny, it's gold, it's got all this bling on. It's got these emeralds, diamond. It's just like amazing. Then on to the other right, we have this old wooden door, worn out, hinges are rusty, doesn't even seal solid. It's just this door is falling apart. But what the mind does, I would say maybe 9,999 times out of 10,000, it chooses out the old worn door. Because this worn door is comfortable, it's familiar. We know what's behind that door. What's behind that door is our familiar stories, our familiar beliefs, because the mind absolutely hates change. And this new door represents change, and we don't want to do anything with that. We like the old, comfortable door because the mind doesn't really care if you're suffering, if you're in pain, life is a mess. It doesn't matter. It's comfortable. So we stay with that door. But we have to shift focus into the new door. And that's really a challenge. You just can't say, hey, go through that door. That's what I'm feeling with like this grandfather was with this woman being homeless. He was giving her all sorts of signs and symbols, breadcrumbs on the way to this new door, new opportunities. But when we're really locked into these stories, these head trash, it puts on a blinder. You think there's only one way, one path. So we need to clear out that head trash so we can see that there's another door over there waiting to get our attention. But sometimes this requires, some energetic work, some kind of work through meditation, whatever it may be, to get you into this moment, to put in these new pathways, that there's another way forward, another opportunity. So that's what I just really want to talk about there is that there's a new opportunity for us. But are we willing to take that door? That's the challenge. So I've been trying for many years to describe what I do quite unsuccessfully. Because like I said, what I really do is just really connect to people on a very deep level. That's why I have my coaching group here listed there underneath my name. I do these private sessions, but I really can't really describe what I do. I'm just merging with people and I just go there. So let me, if people are watching and want me to tune into them, and we'll see where we go if that feels right to you. And eventually maybe I can figure this out where I can get people when there's more watching to actually join in and do this live healing right here, right now, to see what's your block, where's your mind leading you astray, where's the mind taking you off into the ditch. Because you have to realize that everything's the manifestation of light, and we are that light. But if we're starting to think about stress, anxiety, worry, lack of finances, lack of home, disease, illness, remember, you are the light. It's going to amplify whatever your thoughts are. So if you're thinking about things that are stressful, you're going to manifest more things that are stressful, more health issues. You'll just start manifesting things that you really do not desire. But we are light itself, and it never says no to you. So you're saying, I'm tired of being poor. You really put that energy out there that you're poor, you're broke. The universe will give you more to keep you in that place because you're giving a single. That's the vibration I want. Because spirit doesn't speak in words, it's about energy and vibration. So if you're in this low vibration, you're going to manifest low. If you're uplifted, you're going to manifest high. So it's really ultimately up to you what you wish to do. Because you live in this body. You are the master of this domain. So it's really up to you on the path that you take. And most of the time, it's going to be that old, worn out door that does not serve you. You know, the hinges are falling off, it's really worn out, and there's this nice gold, shiny door with a lot of bling on it, diamonds, emeralds, and you just, mind ignores it. The mind doesn't even see it. To the mind, it doesn't even exist. All it has it mental blinders on, and that's all we do is we focus onto those old areas. So if you're watching, ask questions. Let's dive in. I really want to make this interactive because I already accomplished what I needed to accomplish, you could say. I discovered who I was. And once I discovered who I was, the next thing was getting the body back into alignment, or you could say healing the body, curing the body, whatever you wish to call it. So let's talk about that, our Earth mission, if you will. So we try to figure out our life purpose. We really spend lots of time trying to figure out our life purpose, why we're here. But we forget the very first important step that we need to take before we try to figure out our life path. Who are you? Yeah, it's an intellectual exercise. I'm spirit, I'm consciousness, I'm soul. These are just intellectual. Your body doesn't really believe it. Your mind doesn't really believe it. It doesn't accept it as truth. Because if you knew yourself as soul, as spirit, as consciousness, you would have very little stress, very little worry, anxiety, fear. They'll be quite diminished. But if you're anxious, worried about what other people are thinking, and all these kind of mental stories, it's an indication that you don't know yourself. Because if you knew yourself as spirit, as soul, as consciousness, one with all that is, then we just come back into balance, back into synchronicity. All right, let's see what Sandy's saying here. All right, so why do you need external validation? That's the question we have to ask Sandy. Why do you need this external validation? Why do you need this external proof? Are you doing the best job that you can in this moment? If you are, then you can let it go. That's wasted energy. Let's just dive into Sandy a little bit here and let's take a look. Hmm. When I'm diving into you, Sandy, I just feel a certain level of mistrust. Almost like you've been taught not to trust yourself, not to believe in yourself. It feels like you've been put down quite a bit. I'm really showing something here between maybe 9 to 11 that you're pretty young. I don't know if you have brothers, cousins, friends. I'm not sure who these people were, but it almost feels like a little bit of a bullying of pitting you down, making you feel insignificant. I'm seeing these years between 9 and 11 were pretty pivotal in getting this distrust in place. So how do we, get out of that pattern to realize that you're no longer this young girl, that you're an adult now, you stand in your own power, your own strength, and you realize I am one with all that is. I don't need to get lost in my story, my thoughts. I trust that I am spirit. I know the way forward. I'm keeping myself present, which is the big key, is keeping yourself present to stay in your power. Then you don't need to worry about what other people think about you because you know you're doing your best. And you'll quickly learn as well as what I'm being shown. You'll quickly learn if this job, this task is for you. Because when we're in this place of distrust, we sort of take anything that comes its way, not believing that we can do something that really resonates with us, that makes our heart sing. So we settle. And this all comes from that younger belief. So just sit and relax. We send some of this energy to you to clear out some of this debris that doesn't need to hang around anymore. And just allow you to stand in your power, really filling up your heart, the lower chakras, into believing who you are and that you're powerful just as you stand. Sandy, it ultimately does not matter. Are you happy with you? That is the question you have to ask yourself, Sandy. Are you happy with you? If you're not happy with you, what's the mental story? What diminishes you? And if the boss's coworkers don't resonate with you, whatever, then maybe you're not meant to be there. Maybe once again, it's that mind settling. Oh, I need to do this because I need to do, I need some income. But my heart really wants to do this. I don't know if you saw the earlier part of the talk, but you're staying with the old familiar door versus to the door that's shiny and bright and new. And it's kind of scary to the mind because it's new change, new areas of exploration. Yeah, so you're building the confidence slowly, and that's perfect. And the way you really accelerate that is just notice there goes the mind telling me a story, trying to diminish my worth. Where are my feet? Where are my hands? I'm perfect just as I stand. And this is the abundance mindset. Let's really focus on the abundant mindset for you. The abundant mindset is being thankful what you can have, what you have in this moment, and grateful for what you can do. I have this body. I have this glass of water. I have this roof. Just be in a state of gratitude. What can I do? I can walk. I can move my hands. I know something about this. I know something about that. And you just stay in this place of focused on what you can do and what you have. And you don't worry about the outcome, the fruit. You just worry about those little things. And your skills will build as time comes. You start taking those steps. But it's really about slowing it down and just focusing on what you have and what you can do. That's the abundance mindset. Just being thankful I'm alive. If I'm alive, then there's infinite possibilities here. I don't have to put the mental blinders on and say I can only do this one thing. That's not helping you. The soul is always trying to show you the way forward, new opportunities. What Dawei is asking. Can I have? We have to realize the soul is the creative energy of the universe. It's always creating, whether it's new planets, new galaxies, new bugs, new birds, new humans, whatever it may be. And it's constantly recycling. It's always creating and always recycling. That this body is stardust. The material that makes up this body came from an exploding star. So the universe is always creating and recycling because everything has an expiration date. You could say everything is impermanent. The only thing that is real, that is permanent, is the energy of the universe, that consciousness, the intelligence of the universe. So we're always have new opportunities there. But are we willing to listen to those opportunities? Or do we once again have the mental blinders on where there's only one way, one possibility? So we need to focus on once again that abundant mindset. What do I have? A body, I'm breathing. What can I do? Walk, take action. Because you can have all this wisdom arise up from spirit, from the soul. But we need to move our feet. We need to take action. The universe isn't likely to drop $5,000 into your lap per se without taking some kind of action. Otherwise, the 5,000 is going to be there and it's going to be gone the next because you didn't learn anything from that. There was no movement. There was no activities on your part. So that's what it's about. Yeah, just trust that insight there, Sandy. So I'm here if there's anything else that arises for a little bit longer, but I'll be here every Sunday. And when I was thinking, Monday night, we're live doing these soul messages, but I wasn't really making myself available at an earlier time for our EMEA friends. Or maybe it's better for the Australian watchers. I don't know, but Australia, I think, is middle of their morning, like 4 a.m. or 5 a.m., something too early for them. But really for the EMEA folks, where 8 p.m. is just middle of their night. So I'm just here if you have any questions, any insights, and I'll see what else is coming up. But we have to realize something that we all have a guide within us, but it's the mind's default pattern to ask for help, for guidance, because we don't trust the guidance that's within us, that we all have the same guidance. We're all connected to all that is. But the mind lives in separation, division. But if we come back into unity of spirit, we know that we don't have to figure things out. We just have to follow the breadcrumbs that are being left by spirit, our spiritual team, because we're always surrounded. We're never alone. There's all sorts of signs, symbols around us, but we're usually not paying attention to them, or perhaps we're unable to see them because we have the mental blinders on again. That there's only one way, one possibility. The spiritual world doesn't exist. It's all these kind of stories. And it's a state of separation. We have to realize that we're the continuation of usually our spiritual team, because typically our closest spiritual team is grandparents, brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, can be best friends, people that you're very close to, but we're the continuation of them. So they're always rooting us on, always cheering us on, but we're usually unaware of that because we were never born, we never die. We're the continuation. So we play the role today, maybe a mother, child, daughter, sister, father. We may continue, come back, and be the grandfather and play different roles because we're always here to grow, to expand. And we play different roles, different sexes, different stories to learn, to grow. And we not even be in this earth plane. There's other systems, other dimensions. We're not confined. That's what's really important. We're never confined to one way of being that the mental blinders have you. It's always just another way. So maybe if there's any kind of questions, any kind of situations that you're facing, but that's one of our biggest issues is we're constantly told that we don't know what's best for us. Well, how would they know what's best for you when they don't live in your body? So the best way I can help is when I actually tune into a person. So I'm into their stream of consciousness. I'm into their perfect spirit, their soul. Otherwise, if I'm trying to intellectualize, analyze, like a medical professional, a guidance counselor, a psychologist, or just working in the realm of the mental, and it's just chasing thoughts with more thoughts, the best way to serve a person is to dive deep into that stream of consciousness to see what's that block, what's that thing that's holding them in a place that doesn't best serve them. All right, well, I'm just here for a few more minutes and I'll be back next week. This is just a deeper dive than I usually go, but I think that's what's needed is to encourage you to discover who you are first. The mind has all these grand ideas, but these grand ideas may or may not come true if you don't know who you are. Because once you know who you are and you tap into power, none of your demands can be denied because you're one with the universe at that point. So I will be live tomorrow night with soul messages, but don't expect me to just be pulling cards. They're here. I haven't touched them today. I'd rather just dive in and just really see what's going on. Because cards can have an influence, a sway that may not be in your best interest in this moment, or they can give a confirmation of what's going on in this moment. But sometimes we need this path of self discovery to really ingrain into us what it is that we seek, that we desire. All right, another minute or two. Also, this, I guess, could be last call. Let me see what the energy is for today. So yeah, if anybody's interested, I do have that website down there. You can check out when I do the private and group mentoring. Um, let's see what the energy is here. Um, the unconditional love card. Just think, what would life be like if everyone just loved each other unconditionally? Well, one thing, there wouldn't be Earth anymore because Earth is here as a teacher of contrasts. That there's all love, there was no contrast, there would be no reason for Earth to exist. But we can be the light changers. We can bring this light into those situations. So the teachings don't have to be so harsh, so cruel, so mean, if you will. But it's just a few people just spread love, soften, will make the human journey easier. And we're a long way from Earth attaining a state of unconditional love. It's unlikely the Earth will get there within its time span, if you will. The Earth has what, 5, 6, 7 billion years left. It's unlikely Earth actually will get there, humanity as a whole. Just too much war, too much division, too much meanness, too much believing outside of ourselves. It's possible. All things are possible. And they always say humanity's waking up. Is it really? We need to really look at the bigger picture. Do we still have mass shootings? Do we still have authorities? Do we have like authority figures telling us what's best for us? We have all this stuff in our way, if you will. Yeah, there's some people waking up, but they have been waking up over the centuries, very slowly. It picked up a drop, but now it's starting to regress again because of all the stuff that's taking place within the last few years. All right, I'm not seeing anything else here, so thanks for everyone for watching, for your support, for your follows, your likes, your comments, because ultimately this is here to take that first step of discovering who you truly are and not it being an intellectual exercise. We're here to learn through experience. And that's why we're in body. Many of spirits here without body. But the spirit, the energy remains. It's consistent. And I'll be back next Sunday for this deeper dive. And Monday is Soul Messages, and I'll be doing deeper dives as well there. I'm not really feeling called to just randomly pull cards. I just want to dive in. Then when you work with me privately, we really dive into it. So when Sandy was watching earlier, we just go in there and pull out those roots, reprogram, blaze a new path forward. And blazing a new path forward doesn't have to take a long time. Because once we're going to be mindful of the rules, the restrictions, they're all mental. They're not our truth. So I'm not saying I'm seeing 4 people, but I'm not seeing any questions, any comments. Maybe watching out of curiosity, because the mind is scared of change. The mind doesn't like to know, doesn't like to hear an opinion that's different than its own. Because the mind thinks it knows best, but the mind is usually lost in the weeds, going back to the old door of pain, suffering, of misery, because it's familiar. Change is hard. It's hard to trust and believe in ourselves. But that's okay. Everything's unfolding as it needs to unfold. This is hard to comprehend at times. It's just divine unfolding of everything, that there are no mistakes. There's no randomness either, because every experience is happening for our benefit. And this is very hard to see. When I lost the ability to walk from MS, run over by a car at 6, could not see the benefit of those. But it allowed me to discover who I was. Soul, spirit, consciousness, one with all that is. All right, well, take good care of yourself. I'll see you tomorrow. And just relax, trust yourself, trust your own knowings, your own instincts. Let go of the need for external validation, approval from others to see if you're doing the right thing. Well, what is the right thing for you? That's all that matters. Be happy with you. You were created perfectly just as you are, for your maximum growth, for your maximum potential. Don't choose the old door of the past. It's worn out. It's time to choose the new blinged out door. It's filled with gold, emeralds, diamonds. And just remember that's our truth. All right. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your comments. Bye for now.